Hello and welcome to Grosvenor Vale, home of National League side Wealdstone, our host this evening for our third pre-season fixture as we all eagerly count down to our return to the Championship. After a productive week away in the scenic Slovenian mountains, Nathan Jones's squad returned to the capital, chasing match sharpness, building fitness and aiming to click into a rhythm ahead of competitive action, which is less than 3 weeks away. My name is Charlotte Richardson. I'm delighted to be your commentator on Charlton TV this evening. As we count down to kick off, let's take a little look back on the week that has been. As I mentioned, the team have been away working hard in Slovenia and it looked absolutely incredible. Let's see the highlights from our win against the top tier Croatian side, HNK Gorica. A great 2-0 win to wrap up a hard week's work for the Charlton Athletic squad. And speaking to staff this evening, all glowingly referring to what an important week it is in the calendar. It's something that Nathan Jones has alluded to as well. One of the most important weeks of the year for Charlton Athletic, the opportunity to bleed new players into the squad to work really, really hard out on the grass. And then, of course, with that crescendo of the competitive 90 minutes under their belt. 2 really good goals as well. Fantastic to see academy graduate Croy Anderson on the score sheet, and what a finish as well from youngster Ibrahim Fuller, who is relishing the opportunity of being involved in the first team environment, has spoken about taking his opportunities with both hands, and he's done exactly that. We caught up with Ibrahim after that 90 minutes.
Ibby, let's start with the goal. Talk us through it.
Yeah, got 1v1, so I thought with the space that I had, I just had to attack the defender and I had to show a bit of the flair that I had, and obviously scored the goal, which I'm very happy about.
And how about the control to bring down Kane Ramsey's ball?
Yeah, obviously I had the feeling he was going to switch over the ball to me, so I just had to compose myself as the ball was in the air And then, yeah, from there, just started to be electric and be 1v1 direct.
You've had a chance to be involved in pre-season this summer with the men's first team. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's been very good, been grateful. Obviously, the gaffers put a lot of belief in me, and I'm very grateful for that as well. Being around all the players, learning a lot, so I'm very grateful.
It's your first senior trip. What have you made of it here in Slovenia?
Just the experience, obviously getting to know everyone else as well, and yeah, just enjoying it, improving every day. So I'm just happy to be here as well.
And you're playing alongside a lot of other academy players as well. How much does that help you?
Yeah, it's been very good, obviously, being around them for such a long time as well, and being close on and off the pitch. It just helps that chemistry when we play on the pitch as well. So yeah, it's been good.
And you've played a few different positions already in pre-season, showing your versatility. Do you have a favourite one, or one where you feel you're at your best?
I just feel like whatever position I get played, I just try to play my best. So whatever position the gaffer puts me in, just have to make sure I do my job.
And you made your league debut at the end of last season. What are you aiming for on a personal level this year?
Just to keep carrying on, being consistent. Whatever opportunity comes, just got to take it with both hands.
The 18-year-old speaking so well after scoring that goal in Slovenia. Signed a new long-term deal back in April. Has been with the football club since he was just 9 years old, and he is a player that the coaching staff have high hopes for to not only make a breakthrough this season, but perhaps even to stamp a little bit of authority in the midfield selection process as well. And it's been brilliant to see youngsters like him, and also Mika Mabek, who, let's not forget, came off of the bench against Dartford to score the winning goal there, taking their opportunity with the first team to showcase their talents in front of the manager, Nathan Jones. Now, the teams have just gone back into the changing rooms after warming up. The starting 11 for Charlton Athletic is as follows. In goal, Ashley Maynard Brewer, Nathan Asimwe and Josh Edwards occupying the wing-back roles, and a back three of Zach Mitchell, Alex Mitchell, and skippering the side for the first half at least is Macaulay Gillespie, Connor Coventry, Sonny Carey and Corey Anderson. The midfield trio supporting Daniel Kanu and Tanto Alofe up front. Now, Charlton Athletic have met Wealdstone in pre-season before, a couple of seasons ago now, and the rain was lashing down on that occasion. Charlton picked up a 5-0 victory. Slightly nicer conditions to play in this evening. Blue skies all around the stadium, and a real contingent of red shirts around the two dugouts just in front of us in our commentary position. A brilliant turnout of addicts, as always, supporting the boys on the road as we count down to that opening game of the season at the Valley against Watford. We all can't wait, but this is going to be a really useful exercise. Manager Nathan Jones has said it's going to be another working exercise, and with each game that comes up, we're stepping it up. 4 games and 3 weeks to go now. It's all very, very exciting. The Addicts have travelled with a large squad as well. Named on the substitutes bench, we have Thomas Kaminski, Will Mannion, Kane Ramsey, Lloyd Jones, Tyrese Campbell, Luke Berry and Ghassan Hadmay, all listed on the team sheet in front of me. And this is perhaps one of those games where certain players will be looking to hit that hour mark in terms of their fitness, building those minutes up. It doesn't feel like that long ago, does it, that we were all at Wembley Stadium, whether we were there physically or following from afar. It's been 59 days, in fact, since that full-time whistle blew, confirming Charlton's return to the Championship after a 5-year absence, and 17 days to go until that opening game against Watford. Set to be the largest crowd for an opening league game at the Valley in 16 years, and I'm sure between now and August the tickets are going to continue to sell. Friends and families coming together to watch that moment when the team walks out to compete in the second tier of English football once again. We're 5 minutes away from kickoff here at Grosvenor Vale. A different kind of test for Nathan Jones's side this evening. National League opposition Wealdstone, managed by Sam Cox, their former captain, was interim manager back in 2023-24, had 5 games to keep Wealdstone in the National League. He did that, wasn't appointed manager after doing so, had a breakaway and then returned this summer. He's UEFA A licensed coach, works within Spurs' academy as well. And their chairman, Rory Fitzgerald, described him as one of the finest young coaches in our game. So Wealdstone will be a tricky test indeed. as members of the coaching staff from Wealdstone begin to make their way to the dugout. We await to see Macaulay Gillespie lead out Charlton. Gillespie, of course, he will have his name written in Charlton athletic folklore. The free kick that sealed the victory to earn Charlton promotion. Still at the forefront of many, many minds. And for Macaulay Gillespie, reward for a fantastic season was a contract extension. He is a player, of course, who has experience playing in the Championship. A real leader in the ranks here, and accordingly has been handed the armband. Be interesting to see how Nathan Asimwe gets on this evening. Had a really productive loan spell out at Walsall, played at Wembley Stadium in fact, but Walsall unfortunately unsuccessful in their quest for promotion, defeated by Johnny Jackson's AFC Wimbledon. Asimwe might well be a player fighting for some minutes and fighting to get back into the manager's thoughts for the season ahead. On the other flank, Josh Edwards, a player who took to life in a Charlton Athletic shirt seamlessly, almost under the radar a little bit. 5 assists to his name. Up there with Luke Berry in terms of creating opportunities for the Addicts. And then the midfield three. Cannot wait to see how Sonny Carey clicks in. We expect to play in that number 10 role just in front of Connor Coventry and Croy Anderson. And Tanto Alofe, another summer signing through the door. The former Stockport man. 12 goals and 4 assists for Stockport last season. He fits everything we want in terms of profile. He's young, hungry and athletic. Those are the words of boss Nathan Jones. And Tanto will be alongside Matty Godden tomorrow at Bluewater Shopping Centre from 3 to 5 p.m. Supporters can book to go and meet the pair there. Again, another fantastic bit of summer business. Charlton opening their retail space in the country's largest retail outlet. I was there with Steve Brown to cut the ribbon. And we were delighted to see so many fans come down and do a bit of shopping and soak it in for themselves. Two minutes until kick-off, and I can begin to see the officials out of the corner of my eye, gathering together, ready to lead the teams out onto the field of play. Charlton Athletic will be playing this evening in their brand new home kit. The new partnership with Reebok, looking fresh, looking good. The red shirts, white shorts and red socks combination. Looking smart in the summer sunshine this evening. And as the teams undertake their pre-match handshakes, a reminder of the starting 11 for the Addicts. For those of you joining us this evening, Nathan Jones' side expected to line up in the 3-5-2 formation. Ashley Maynard, Brewer in goal, Zach Mitchell, Alex Mitchell, Macaulay Gillespie, the defensive three, Nathan Asimwe and Josh Edwards on either flank. Croy Anderson, Connor Coventry in midfield, with Sonny Carey playing in a more advanced position, that number 10 role, behind Daniel Kanu and Tanto Alofe. And Wealdstone have had a busy summer as well. Plenty of new signings in the door for them. They're a side with similar sort of values and DNA really in terms of a young, hungry, athletic side, plenty of athleticism and plenty of height as well. They're for a good physical battle for the Addicts. And these are the kind of tests that Nathan Jones will want. The intensity needs to turn up a notch with every pre-season friendly. As I said at the start, it's been a short pre-season. Just 3 more matches to go before the real stuff begins. A trip away to Cambridge on Saturday. And then a Tuesday road trip to Ipswich before rounding things off against a fellow National League side, colleagues of our host this evening, Southend United, Nathan Jones's former club, and of course we met them in the FA Cup last season as well, and that was a test. Will be the Addicts to kickstart proceedings. A new sign-in, Sonny Carey, to do the honours. Six Charlton Athletic players lined on that halfway point. We'll look to come out the blocks sharp and fast. As Macaulay Gillespie looks for a Simway on that right-hand flank. Here's Zach Mitchell, hooks the ball forwards. Corey Anderson applying the pressure, and Josh Edwards sprints over as well to press. The ball's kept in play by our hosts. A bit of early work for Alex Mitchell to do to come over and deal with the danger of the run down that right-hand side. Alex Mitchell, the last goal scorer in the league for the Addicts, came on as a sub and scored a header which helped Charlton Athletic to end the season at home with a win. Mitchell will be relishing these minutes in the heart of Charlton's defence, as will Zach Mitchell, returning from a really productive loan spell, as Wealdstone are forced all the way back to their keeper. The ball will bounce and Kanu will give chase. Challenge comes in from Coventry, and now Carey will get a few touches on the ball, plays it back to Mitchell. The Simway offers on the right. Mitchell instead squares it to Connor Coventry. Coventry scanning, picking his choice, looking to be patient, the Addicts. Coventry now on the centre spot. Coventry with the ball forward to Kanu. The offside flag goes up, the whistle blows. The timing and the connection of the pass not quite on there for the Addicts. Kanu just missed time in the run ever so slightly, but looking alert and on his toes is exactly what you want from your centre forward early on. Plenty of willing runners up front for Wealdstone, and the long ball forwards has been read well by Josh Edwards, who clears first time. And the header goes unchallenged. And Wealdstone, again, just looking to build across their back four. Some trialists in the lineup for the hosts, and that's some good pressure from Sonny Carey. That's the kind of aggression that's needed to try and win back the ball, but Wealdstone cope with it well. Coventry and Edwards double up. Edwards thinks he's won the throw-in, but the decision's gone the way of the home team. Kanu gets on the end of the throw. Red shirts moving forwards to offer support. Edwards is there. Back to Coventry. Mitchell providing a square option. Played back instead to Alex. All Charlton's outfield players now camped in the Wealdstone half as Gillespie looks to switch up play to Asimwe. And here's a chance perhaps for Asimwe to charge towards the byline. Good defending from the home team. Mitchell trying to engage and put some pressure on. Gets the touch but also gets the man, and it's a free kick for Wealdstone. Another long ball over the top. Kanu's quick, and there's no offside flag this time. Kanu takes a look up, plays the ball along, not quite the accuracy required to pick out Asimwe. And now it's the hosts who attack in the central area, play it out to the left-hand side. Definitely got pace in their side, Wealdstone. Hassan for the home team, 1v1 against Mitchell. Drafts inside, and then Wealdstone have the ball on the edge of the 18-yard area. There's an overlapping run to the right-hand side that's picked up. Edwards is going to sprint to apply a bit of pressure to the cross. There's a pull on Mitchell. Referee uninterested. And it's the home team probing away here. Moving the ball around neatly until the intervention there from Edwards, and this is a brilliant opportunity for Charlton's attacking Arsenal to showcase their own flair. Ball gets caught up, and Wealdstone have enough blue shirts around to mop up possession. Carey, the most advanced player for Charlton, applying the press. We know Croy Anderson has the energy to do exactly the same, marries up and supports his teammate. But again, Wealdstone deal with it well. And that's a neat ball to their number 9, who plays the pass back and then looks to run, but Mitchell makes the block. Pressure on the keeper as Daniel Kanu chases towards him. It's cleared. Mitchell with the header. The second's picked up by Wealdstone. And that's a good run forwards. Gets entangled up with Gillespie. Takes the free kick quickly. Charlton not caught out. Alert to that danger as Edwards clears, but again the ball falls to a player in a blue shirt. Hassan for Wealdstone up against Connor Coventry, whips the ball in. Cleared by Edwards, the ball up in the air for a long time. Another searching ball down the channel. Kanu falls to ground. Daniel Kanu is known for causing National League defenders a headache or two. Had a really great loan spell, didn't he, at Southend United, where he scored not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 goals in one game. We'll be looking to add to his pre-season tally this evening. Scored a great goal, really sharp finish. The opening goal of the pre-season campaign for the Addicts. Yet to test Wealdstone's goalkeeper in these opening exchanges. At the 10-minute marker. 0-0, and neither keeper's gloves have been called into action yet. Sinway up high for the Addicts is an option for Mitchell, who plays it back to his namesake in the centre of that three-man defence. And Charlton happy to pass it along the back five, always Connor Coventry in support. What an influential player Connor Coventry is in this Charlton Athletics side. Really settled into life at Charlton. Made the move from West Ham, of course, and he spoke about the stop-start nature to how his career was progressing with loan spells. But last season, in a Charlton shirt, no player made more interceptions or tackles to break up play in the EFL League One than him. Talking about breaking up play, here's Croy Anderson doing just that. Squares it out to Asimwe, an overlapping run from Mitchell. Mitchell with the delivery. With his back to goal, Alafi wriggles and looks to get the shot away. Blocked by the Stones captain. Mitchell with a second chance to get across, and instead elects to play it out to Asimwe. And Asimwe's ball was aiming for the head of Daniel Kanu towards the back post. Recycled play from Edwards, and here's Sonny Carey, and that's a strong glove to deny Carey. It's an opportunity that receives a ripple of applause from the Charlton Athletic fans and those stood behind the goal. This right-hand side proving productive for the Addicts. Corey Anderson to take the corner, the first of the match. Sonny Carey just floating around the outskirts of the 18-yard area. Connor Coventry to his left-hand side, and Asimwe, the player, back for Charlton. Lots of aerial threat. Plenty for Anderson. Corner duties on this side. Edwards on one side, Sonny Carey on the other. That's a deep ball across, nodded back in by Gillespie, who looks up to the skies, a bit frustrated that there wasn't a more refined aim to that header. But again, these are the kind of things that Nathan Jones is going to want to be seeing. How the set pieces that the boys are working on at Sparrows Lane translate into matches. It was, of course, a set piece that got Charlton Athletic to the championship. Direct free kick from Macaulay Gillespie, which I'm sure you've all watched many, many times since that brilliant day out in May. Charlton win a free kick. It's taken quickly. Still 0-0 in this third pre-season fixture for Charlton Athletic. Charlton just beginning to take a grip of proceedings, pushing for that opening goal. Charlton really trying to widen out play. We've got Josh Edwards over on the far left-hand side, and Sonny Carey, who's given quite a free role within the Addicts setup, stretches out to the right. The Wealdstone bench appeal that the ball went out of play. The officials didn't see it quite like that, and that's a brilliant ball forward, which Josh Edwards is going to try and rush into. He's been clattered by the goalkeeper, and that's a penalty for the Addicts. And that's the kind of testing ball that causes sometimes a little bit of panic between goalkeepers and their defence. And the Stones keeper came rushing out. It's a pretty straightforward decision. We had a penalty in the opening game against Dartford. That was taken by Greg Doherty. Tanto Alafi will take this spot kick and look to break the deadlock for the Addicts in this pre-season friendly. Right-footed effort, straight down the middle. Cool, calm, clinical. And it's a first goal for Charlton Athletic this pre-season for their brand new sign-in. Brilliant work there, the fantastic ball over the top. It's a hard one to defend against, especially when you have a player as committed as Josh Edwards making that run into the box. Caused a bit of panic. And it's a penalty to help Charlton get underway here against Wealdstone. Wealdstone 0, Charlton Athletic 1. Good play from Wealdstone. They can move the ball about quickly, neatly, sharply. Charlton need to get organised. Some robust defending from Alex Mitchell. The Wealdstone bench have something to say about it. But that tight marking is required to smother out the presence of a tall number 9 like Wealdstone have. The ball's picked up really well, and it's a free kick for Charlton over on that far left-hand side. It's Josh Edwards' territory. And there'll be a queue of Charlton players looking to get on the end of this delivery, knowing how accurate and pinpoint Josh Edwards can be. What can that left wand produce? It's not cleared very neatly, and Mitchell will look to get onto the end of it. He does. The header was wayward. It's cleared nevertheless by Wealdstone. Anderson gives chase. And it's a throw-in for the Addicts right by that corner flag. Typifies his work rate and industry. Such an engine in midfield for Charlton. Anderson, right-footed, aims towards that 6-yard area. Here's a Simway now for Charlton. Has Coventry for support. It's a really good delivery. Kanu jumps high to get on the end. Edwards looking to turn up the pressure. And that inside post was covered and protected well. More positive work though in that final third for Charlton. 1 goal to the good and looking to add to the tally. Here's the Simway. That's another nice turn. And another free kick for Charlton. Very similar to the one they won out on that far left-hand side. He's a striker who can elicit those sort of challenges, enabling his team to get into good scenarios like this one. Again, it's taken quickly. Square to Carey. Coventry. With another ball over the top. Asimwe with a lovely first touch. Mitchell sprints down to support. And that support's needed as well as Coventry links up play with Anderson. Sonny Carey now. It's a full 360 degrees, playing it back to Coventry. Coventry laces the ball, aiming towards that penalty spot where Kanu was shadowing the Wealdstone captain, hoping to capitalise on an error. There wasn't one. Wealdstone cleared, but only so far as the Simway. Zach Mitchell entering the Wealdstone half, looks to pick out Kanu. Edwards will give chase. So quick, Josh Edwards. And Charlton have the throw in. Ball played back to Gillespie. Charlton really working effectively in units to compress and constrict Wealdstone when they do have possession. It's working really effectively. The Stones' touches in the Charlton Athletic half really reduced in the last 10 minutes or so as Charlton look to build up another attack. Coventry out to Mitchell. Another young academy graduate who signed a long-term deal back in November. Great spell with Scottish Premiership side St Johnstone. Helped them keep 4 clean sheets, and they were a team that were really struggling defensively, so for a young player to come in and have that kind of impact. Also went to a fantastic secondary school, the same one as me. Had to drop that in. I'm sure our head of PE is listening. Now Connor Coventry with the ball for Charlton Athletic, plays it out to the left-hand side to Gillespie. Edwards back to the skipper this evening. There's a really nice little run that's picked out by Coventry. The seconds falls to Wealdstone. And again, we just see how Charlton's press can be so hard to come up against. Mitchell didn't quite see the forward pass on, played it back instead to Gillespie. And Charlton just moving Wealdstone from side to side, looking to open up those pockets of space. And Edwards raises an apologetic hand there. The pass not quite on, but the movement and the thought process certainly an encouraging one for Charlton. 1-0 up here at Wealdstone. You haven't ventured much into Charlton's half. We'll look to do so. This ball's played forward. Anderson looking to pick the pocket. Gillespie goes in for the challenge, and now Wealdstone can fly forward, and Charlton have a man less back in their defensive lineup, and the space for the shot to get away, and it's high and wide of the target. It's taken a deflection. Time for Charlton to defend a corner as the ball is rolled over towards that corner flag by the fourth official. Wealdstone in no rush to take it. We're going to have to see another side of Charlton's organisational skills now. It's time to defend. It's a busy looking outskirts of that 6-yard area. Plenty of players hanging about towards that back post. The header away by Gillespie. Also an attempt to keep the ball in play. It's a brave block from Zach Mitchell. We're used to Charlton Athletic defenders making those. The foul on Daniel Carnu. And that potential attacking opportunity fizzles out for the hosts. Here's Gillespie now for Charlton. The long ball, looking for the run of Asimwe. Nodded to the academy graduates path by Coventry. Carey now to Mitchell. Here's Carey. Opens up his body to take the shot, and the effort drags just wide of the post. Sonny Carey, Charlton's first signing of the summer. 11 goals in 37 appearances last season for Blackpool, the 24-year-old. Again, another player that really fits the model that Charlton are looking to bring into their side. You can see the sort of threat he will pose in and around those areas when he gets the chance to take a shot. We're approaching the half-hour mark. And Charlton lead here at Wealdstone by 1-0. Courtesy of a well-taken penalty from new signing Tanto Balafi. Coventry again on the ball for Charlton, between him and Anderson. Plentiful touches on the ball so far this evening. Out to Carey. Wealdstone really keeping a strict, disciplined shape behind the ball. As Anderson looks to pick out Asimwe, does so effectively. Asimwe's cross will be gathered by the keeper. Those are the kind of situations and scenarios that Nathan Jones will want to see his wing-backs getting in further up the pitch. And that's great work by Coventry, and Carey was in on goal there, but the referee's whistle blew for the foul. It's the kind of commitment we like to see. It was almost a golden opportunity there for Carey to capitalise. The goal kick chested down. Anderson, with his outstretched boot, gets a touch, but Wealdstone retain possession, forced back to their keeper. And that long searching ball will gladly be received by Ashley Maynard-Brewer. He hasn't been called into too much action so far this evening. The outfield players in front of him putting on a good display so far, although that is loose play from the Addicts. Mitchell does well, and Sonny Carey will carry the ball away. Looks for the run of Daniel Carnu, perfectly placed ball to Charlton's number 29. Goes it alone, twists and turns, waits for support. And here is Carey on the outskirts of the area, who performs a twist or two of himself. Croy Anderson goes for the challenge. Brilliant stuff from the Charlton Athletic midfielder. who is growing from strength to strength. And what a busy summer it has been so far for the Addicts. 7 new signings. And let's not forget the fantastic work as well of extending some really key players' contracts. Youngster Micah Mabick, Macaulay Gillespie and Miles Lieburn all extending their stay in South East London. And many of you have committed your futures to the club as well. I was reading that over 10,000 season tickets have already been sold, way past the mark for 2019-20. You can still buy your season ticket. Make sure you secure your spot at the Valley for our return to the Championship after 5 grueling years in League One. That all comes to an end on the 9th of August. Watford, the first visitors to the Valley, where Charlton are still unbeaten in 2025. And they're unbeaten in this pre-season run of games as well. 1-0 up so far this evening. Nathan Asimwe has the ball for Charlton on the right-hand side. Anderson back to Zach Mitchell. The Mitchell brothers, not quite, but in Charlton's defence this evening. Those competitions for places as we count down to that Watford game. It's going to be brilliant. Manager Nathan Jones will want as many headaches as possible. When you look at the quality of the defenders that have been brought into the football club alongside the likes of Macaulay Gillespie and Lloyd Jones, it's something like 26 clean sheets, I think, last season. If you can keep that defensive solidity in the Championship, it will serve you well indeed. And Charlton have looked solid defensively so far this evening. We are past the half-hour mark and just 1 goal in this game. It was from the penalty spot, and Charlton between now and half-time will be looking to create a little bit more in open play as well. Crunch and tackle from Mitchell, and the ball rolls along the halfway line. Asimwe out to the left to Gillespie. Charlton Athletics captain for this first half. We've seen that armband circulated throughout pre-season. Always important to have leaders within a team and a squad. And those principles start right now in pre-season. Ball cleared upfield. Zach Mitchell gets there first, and Anderson's outstretched leg does similarly. Then Alex Mitchell comes over looking for the ball forward, but it goes out of play for a Wealdstone throw-in. Throwing just yards away from the technical area where both managers have stood directing play, observing, mulling things over, analysing the action in front of them, and they're going to analyse another Charlton attack now. Asimwe will take the throw in for Charlton. Mitchell wins the header, nodded towards Coventry. Gillespie can reset things for Charlton at the back. Mitchell's ball. Kanu will give chase. Kanu looks to find the finish. Is clipped there, and it's going to be a second penalty for Charlton Athletic. Really great ball from Alex Mitchell. And Kanu is such a winning runner. He's been opening up his body. He's been showing for that run several times in this first half. The ball was inch perfect. The run was as well. Kanu's boots were clipped. And it's a sense of deja vu now, as we see Tanto Alofe pick up the ball, but then keeping us commentators on our toes as well. Gives it to Daniel Kanu, who won the penalty. Can he convert the penalty? 1 goal to his tally. Kanu with the run up, and that's another fantastic penalty for the Addicts. Both centre forwards on the score sheet. The finish, so much power and pace behind the ball, leaving the keeper with no chance there. Wealdstone 0, Charlton Athletic 2. A brace of penalties, and that is telling of the pressure that Charlton have been able to apply. Wealdstone's shape and fortitude behind the ball has been really impressive. But Charlton just able to make those mistakes count. It's a 2-0 advantage, and still plenty of time in this first half. The work rate and intensity won't drop off by any stretch, and that's a pretty careless foul. A grab of the shoulder to try and claw Carey back right in front of the referee. Interesting how Charlton are looking to take those kind of opportunities quickly, get the ball moving. Seeing what they can do in open players, perhaps taking a moment to maybe push bodies forward and do more of a set piece routine. Anderson passes it out to the left-hand side. A really good run from Josh Edwards, who sprints towards the byline, crosses the ball first time. So many times we see Josh Edwards make runs like that and produce something testing for a teammate to get on the end of. Not quite on that occasion. He's a rapid player for the Addicts. Not sure many could beat him in the squad over 100 metres or so. His recovery runs as well to get back and defend for his team are impressive. He's still out there high up in an advanced position for Charlton. I think Mitchell's taken a little look, but instead squares it to Zach Mitchell. Both wing-backs advanced for Charlton. And there goes the long forward testing ball. Kanu with the flick on. And backed up by Sinway's pressure. It's a throw-in for Charlton, advanced in the Wealdstone half. And the slightly miscued pass there from Gillespie. You don't say that too often. The Addicts skipper with the ball back at his feet, plays it to Anderson in the centre circle. Charlton have possession. And there's a bit of space opening up that's threaded through by Alafi, who just takes a tumble, but back up on his feet. He signals to his teammate a thumbs up. That's the kind of service that he relishes. Some route one stuff from Wealdstone, and it had to be dealt with by Alex Mitchell. Gives the Stones a chance to get bodies in blue high up the pitch. We're going to require a third football of the evening. It's a neat turn and pass, but it's read well by Mitchell, and perhaps a slight handball in the play there from Coventry, but we don't mind that. The play carries on, and Charlton have the free kick. It's taken by Mitchell. The long searching ball, it bounces, will be nodded back towards the keeper. And Sonny Carey was there. Should any kind of mix up or mistake have happened, it didn't, and Wealdstone have possession in their own half. Ball sprayed out to the left-hand side. Carey looks to link up with a fellow new signing. It was a slight bit of frustration that it was read by Wealdstone, but in game time, players need to react quickly. Carey does that. He's helped back up on his feet. Free kick's taken quickly. As Charlton move the ball from left to right. Another good run from the centre forward. That selfless running is often rewarded, and it has been for both Charlton's centre forwards from the penalty spot this evening. We are delighted to bring you today's stream, sponsored by our partners NordVPN. Got 3 more pre-season games coming up as well, which you'll be able to catch on Charlton TV. Next up, of course, on Saturday, the 3 p.m. kickoff, a trip to Cambridge. So now, of course, full focus on making the most of the second half to come. I imagine we'll see many players looking to build towards that sort of 60-minute hour marker in terms of fitness. I believe up until this point, most of the games have been full 11-man rotations, or pretty much the whole outfield 10 has changed at half-time. I believe that might be a bit more reduced for this evening's game. As Charlton Athletic look to build and build towards that match fitness, ready for what the championship has in store. Corley Gillespie on a good run for Charlton. Out to Asimwe. Gillespie still in support. His left boot swings through the ball. And there's the shot from Coventry, stinging the gloves of the keeper. And I am pleased to say that as we approach the half-time break, I am going to be joined by Charlton Athletics Managing Director Jim Rodwell. Really looking forward to having a catch-up with him. As I mentioned earlier, it has been a very, very busy pre-season. Lots of new faces through the door, and I imagine a few signatures that are still being chased. Be great to speak to him and see how he feels things are shaping up as Charlton Athletic prepare for life in the championship. So exciting when the fixtures were released to see that week in, week out, the challenge that awaits the big clubs. And that journey starts at home to Watford in just a few weeks' time. Moments left of this opening 45 minutes. Charlton Athletic leading 2-0. Both centre forwards on the score sheet. 2 penalties, but those penalties reflect a lot of hard work and industry from the pair leading the line. I'm also pleased to say that for the second half, I will be joined by Charlton Athletic legend Kevin Lisby. Very much looking forward to hearing his thoughts on the second half, how he feels this Charlton Athletic side is shaping up ahead of the step up. Alex Mitchell forward to Anderson. Edwards on the halfway line, takes the touch, and another has to twist and turn from the attentions of the Wealdstone player. And that is the half-time whistle. The first 45 minutes of action here comes to an end, and Charlton Athletic go into the break with a 2-goal advantage. 2 penalties. 2 well-taken penalties. The first from Tanto Olofi, and the second from Academy graduate Daniel Carnu. The teams are making their way towards the changing rooms, an opportunity for further instruction to be relayed, but we're also, of course, seeing a number of players warming up, ready to come on for the second half. Up until this point, Nathan Jones has elected for wholesale changes at the break. It'll be interesting to see perhaps which players are given the opportunity to build towards that hour marker. In front of us now, the likes of Rob Apter, Lloyd Jones, Amari Bell, Miles Lieburn, Tyrese Campbell, all warming up and getting ready to go. We're going to take a quick pause up here in the commentary position, and then we are going to be joined by Managing Director Jim Rodwell. In the meantime, though, let's take a look back at the highlights of the first half here. Welcome back to Charlton TV, where I am delighted to say that during the halftime break, I am joined by Managing Director Jim Rodwell, who has had a very, very busy pre-season, but nevertheless put to work this evening because I've just made you climb up to the gantry, and it's really, I have to describe to people, it's a brilliant setup here at Wealdstone. But this ladder, how tall would you say this ladder is, Jim? It is quite the climb.
I think that contravenes every health and safety regulation in the world. Not that I'm a stickler for these things. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been up a ladder. And if it takes my weight, everybody will be fine. But yeah, touch wood, no accidents yet.
Well, I appreciate you making the effort to get up here, because it's a really opportune moment to catch up with you as we've been calling the action of that first half. Just reflecting really on not only what a busy summer it's been, but what a compact, short summer it's been. Give us a glimpse of what it's been like working with Nathan in this window.
I don't think any of us, we had a plan for promotion, we had a plan to be in League One, but I don't think any of us really anticipated how difficult it was going to be, or how full on it was actually going to be to do the things that we wanted to do. So obviously the game was, we played at Wembley on the Sunday, and I met Nathan on the Monday morning in a cafe in Greenwich, and it hasn't really stopped since then, to be honest with you. Listen, it's been great fun. Nobody should have any sympathy for us, that is a fact. But it's been a challenge, and I feel sorry for Nathan's lovely wife and daughter, to be honest with you. They have my absolute sympathy, because at the moment we're like Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau in The Odd Couple. Yeah.
And how big a step up is it in terms of the negotiation? Because these are championship players that we're looking to attract, to recruit. Is it very different?
No, it has. It's been more difficult than it has in previous years. People are always suspicious of a team that's been promoted, albeit one that's been promoted in the playoffs as well. So, the numbers get bigger and more people get involved, and it becomes a little bit more testing. But it's great. It's all part of the challenge, and, we're really pleased with the bits and pieces we've done so far. We've been well backed by the ownership, and we think we're in a good place. 7
new signings through the door. I believe 3 players have committed to contract extensions as well. So if you think about it, that's almost double digits in terms of player contracts and negotiations. Dare I ask you and push you for how many more bodies you potentially want to get in the building? Is there still work
I think, listen, there's still going to be some comings and goings. We're still working on a couple incoming, and we've got to make sense of the squad. And, some naturally will go out, either permanently or on loan for different reasons. But yeah, we've got a bit of work to do yet. We're far from done, but things seem to be shaping up quite nicely. But we'll keep going.
The squad looks in great shape. Even seeing the likes of Zach Mitchell, Nathan Asimwe, who have been out on loan, returning back to the club, looking really, really sharp. But of course, a squad can only be a certain size. So is there an amount of trimming that needs to be done as well in this window?
Yeah, there absolutely is. But at the moment, the players that you're talking about, Ibby Fuller and Mika, we've got to make some decisions about where they play their football next season. Is it better for them to be around the first team? Can they contribute? Will they be better off getting experience, in League One, in League Two? All those decisions are still ongoing, but yeah, there's a lot of shaping, a lot of fine-tuning to be done yet. But these are the sorts of games when you find out about our players. I've been lucky enough to play at Wealdstone previously. It's a difficult place to come. You've got to show your mettle. This is great exposure. It's an opportunity to play in front of the manager. And pre-season always surprises you. Some players do better than you think. Some players don't do as well as you think. You never quite know, but we're thrilled with some of the young players we've got in and around the squad.
Yeah, they've really, really impressed. And looking at sort of the planning that's gone into this pre-season, we know from the last campaign, of course, that the week in Slovenia is one of the most important. Nathan emphasises the opportunity to really drill the players, but to build the team spirit amongst the group. And I must say, when I made my way here today, we've got so many new faces, but there already is that nice team spirit and togetherness that served us so well in a grueling League One schedule.
It's crucial. The week that they do in Slovenia is, or anywhere else we chose to go, just happens we've been to Slovenia the last couple of years. It's the only time we get to do it all season, to spend a solid 7 days with the players. They live together, they eat together, they sleep together, they train together, and it's a brutal week. They work hard. They really work hard. I was out there Friday and out there for the game on Saturday. And it's a wonderful place, but there's not much else to do other than swimming lakes, train, run around, but it really is heaven on earth. It's a really nice place, but that's the one and only opportunity they get to do that all season. So, you know, what I pray for, and I hate pre-season. I hate it. I hate everything about pre-season. It is a complete necessary evil to me. All I look at constantly is no injuries, no injuries, no injuries. It's the only thing that really concerns me. You know, you know, whatever we do in pre-season, providing we work hard, which we always do, isn't really going to have a bearing on what happens in the season, providing we've got everybody fit and at it. And, you know, Luke and Elliot and Adam Coe and Will Abbott, you know, they work incredibly hard to keep our boys fit. Now, injuries are inevitable in football, but we've got to do everything we can to minimise that. So, yes, every time anybody goes in for a tackle, I grimace. Yeah, far more than I do in the season, to be honest with you. I can almost accept that, but pre-season is just about keeping people fit, conditioning them, and, yeah, avoiding injuries.
I said in commentary that it's been 5 gruelling years outside of the Championship. Football moves at such a relentless pace. In your opinion, what do you think will be the biggest sort of step up, the biggest challenge to the Championship now, which really is one of the most compelling football leagues in world football? I would say it's just
what it is. I mean,
relentless.
what is it? It's the biggest Tier 2 league in the world by miles, and I think by revenue, by attendance, by eyeballs, I think it's the 5th biggest league in the world, which is quite astonishing, really. And you know, what is the difference? Players are better. You know, clubs are bigger, players are better. It sounds a little bit cliche, but they are. You look at the stats. People run harder, they run further, they run faster. You know, they're better. We've got to be better. You know, the players that did incredibly well for us last season, they've got to step up. We've got to keep going forwards as a football club. We can't rest on our laurels. There's no sympathy for anybody. You know, we've got to, you know, sign Championship footballers, and the players that we've got here have got to improve. And we've got lots of players who are capable of doing that. But that's up to them. You know, we have got to keep moving forwards at this football club. We can't sit back. We can't rest on our laurels. We can't think we've achieved anything. We've got to go again. Football's brutal. We kick off against Watford in a couple of weeks' time, and you know, nobody cares about what happened at Wembley. That's just you know, that's turned into a really nice day out. You know, now we've got to maximise that and make sure that everything that happened at Wembley was worthwhile. But you know, listen, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be a challenge. Everybody that plays against us, it's going to be brutal for them, and it's going to be a challenge for them as well. We will make it as difficult as humanly possible for everybody we play against.
It's really nice when we have the opportunity to catch up. More often than not, it's when we do those kind of meet the director events, and we learn and we get a glimpse into how much is going on at Sparrows Lane. You mentioned there a number of the individuals responsible for like the strength and conditioning, the medical side of things. Are there any things that have happened over the summer at Sparrows Lane that supporters might be interested in, investments that have perhaps gone into, again, just gearing us up, because I know there's always something going on there?
I'm just trying to think what's been going on. The pitches again. You know, we've invested in the pitches at Sparrows Lane again. They're incredibly important. I'm trying to think what else.
Phil Chappell's come back to the football club as well, which I think kind of got lost under the radar a little bit. It's such an exciting day out at Wembley. There's some more recruitment added there.
Yeah, that was just towards the end of last season. Maybe Phil's our lucky charm. I think he was, am I right in saying he was in the squad in '98? I'm sure I've seen him in some of the pictures. But Phil came back as head of recruitment. I think one of the things we were really conscious to do post sort of January was really build out our recruitment team. And we ran a process, and we ended up appointing Phil Chappell came in as head of recruitment, and a guy called Charlton came in as assistant head of recruitment. Alistair Clark, who's already with us, he's moved to head of emerging talent. And we just defined people's roles within that. Obviously, people talk about data constantly at football clubs now, which is something that we're embracing as much as anybody. We've got a young fella called Hashim, who's our head data scientist. And yeah, things we'll see. Hopefully, things start to prove dividends. But you know, recruitment is probably the most important thing we do at the entire football club, because if we want to move forward, we need good players. You know, good players are expensive, so we've got to, you know, spend our money appropriately and accordingly, and spend it correctly, because that's what we'll be judged on.
I know it's been a lot of hard work this summer, pretty much since that full-time whistle blow. A few beers, I'm sure, were enjoyed, but from that Monday morning point, is there a moment when you get the sort of buzz and excitement, or will that moment come for you perhaps when you see... Yeah,
Watford. For me, it's Watford. All of it, like I said, I'll repeat myself. Everything that we do in pre-season is just a function for me. I don't really get any... the pleasure I get is from seeing them all walk off the pitch at the end. But believe you me, when we get to the Valley against Watford, I think the ticket sales are going incredibly well. I think at the moment it's the highest attendance. They're predicting the highest attendance in 16 years for an opening game, and I'm sure we'll go beyond that because our fans have supported us all of last season as well. So I'm sure we can build on that. But that's what'll do it for me. I think that's the realisation as well when we kick off against Watford that we are in the Championship, we are in the big league. The game's live on Sky. Watford, I would imagine, will sell out the away end. That's the bit for me. I mean, how much of it I enjoy, I don't know, but I'll enjoy it if we get 3 points. That is the fact.
And I don't want
a good account of ourselves.
Absolutely, and I don't want this to sound arrogant, but when we had that second playoff leg at the Valley and being sort of pitch side and watching the players walk out and the fireworks, the spectacle, how packed out. No one sort of has a given right to be in any division in football, but it really did feel like this is a football club that belongs in a higher tier, and the role that the fans played, how it all connected together. We say it all the time. I pretty much ask Nathan it every week, so I'm going to ask you it. How important are the fans going to be to a successful season back in the Championship?
It's always difficult to answer these questions without being cliche about it and saying things like the fans are the lifeblood of the football club, but they are. I mean, that's the reality. That playoff, I've never really seen anything like it, to be honest with you. That second leg at the Valley was just astonishing to see, and we set standards. Undoubtedly, those supporters, I think they sucked the ball into the net when God has tapped one in. But they're so important to us. There's no football club without the supporters, and I think the players really fed off them last season, and we're going to have to do the same again this season. We'll be underdogs in a lot of games, but we're okay like that. We don't mind a siege mentality at Charlton. I think the manager quite likes it. I think it brings out the best in us at times. But clearly, everything that was built from Christmas time in that fan base, it grew and grew and grew. And we've got to carry that on. And I always think it's the responsibility of the players as well, and all of us to give the fans something to be proud of, to give the fans something to get behind. And I think that's what we gave them, or that's what the players, wasn't me. But I think that's what the players gave them, something to get behind, something to latch onto. For me, it's the players who have to give it to the fans. Some people talk about it's the other way around. I think the players have an obligation to do everything they possibly can, because a lot of the time with the supporters, they just want to see people having a go. People, for whom it matters to wear that shirt, to wear that badge. And for our players, it does. I spend all day, every day with them, and it matters to them. And I think that shows when they play.
It certainly does. I mean, it was a magical night at the Valley, matched by an even more magical day at Wembley Stadium. Jim, I really appreciate you risking life and death to make your way up to the gantry position.
I've not got down yet, Charlotte.
I was going to wish you all the best on your way back down.
This could be on TV bloopers when I go down there, yeah.
But we really appreciate it. And enjoy the second half. It looks like you're spot on in saying perhaps not wholesale changes. In fact, it looks like it is the same starting 11 minus Ibrahim Fuller, who's coming on. So
I think you're right. Yeah. I thought that's what he would do tonight. We've now got to build minutes into people, so I thought the vast majority would probably play about 60 minutes tonight.
Well, look, go and enjoy the rest of your evening, Jim, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks
and if not, I'll see you at the Valley for Watford at home. I can't wait.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Charlotte.
you.
Bye-bye.
Now, as Jim makes his way down the ladder back pitch side, I am delighted to get my substitutes board out. The long-awaited appearance of club legend Kevin Lisby's just saying hello to Jim. And as they do that, I'm just going to scan to the field ahead of me, and it is just that one change for Charlton Athletic in the break. Ibrahim Fuller, who scored a fantastic goal, a really sharp, neat finish in the last game, is given 45 minutes to impress the manager, Nathan Jones. Kev, you made it. I missed you first half.
Oh, the first time I've heard that in my life, someone's missed me.
Well, look, let me bring you up to speed with things.
Yeah.
Charlton Athletic, 2-0 ahead, 2 penalties, 2 centre-forwards on the score sheet. That sounds like a Kevin Lisby kind of game to me.
Good. Just a bit upset I missed it, to be fair.
Well, look, you're going to be able to soak up this second half. Just one change for Charlton Athletic.
Yeah.
But how has your summer been quickly? I haven't seen you since Wembley.
Yeah, busy. As you know, running around after my family, driving them all up and down the place. So looking forward to get the season started now and get this team back on go and see where we can do in the championship.
Congratulations to your boy who made his move to Peterborough United.
Yes.
A fantastic move for him. And I mean, I don't know whether you came to Braintree's game against Wealdstone, whether you can tell us a little bit more about what they were like in the National League. First half, they've been very disciplined behind the ball. A really good test for the Addicts.
Yeah, I mean, I watched them play against Braintree, and they needed a win. They were in the bottom 3 at the time, and as you say, they were well organised. By the looks of things, the team has changed drastically, and looks like they've brought in a few new players. They had a few old heads in the squad last year, and it looks like they've freshened it up now. And they're a disciplined team, and I know both of the goals have been penalties. But from what I've heard, it have been good play leading up to the penalties. So long may that continue.
And there are substitutes
Already?
Pitched in front of us who look like they'll be preparing. I imagine once we get to the sort of 60-minute marker of the game, we might see some more changes be made there. But Wealdstone have a goal kick.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably looking at 55 to 60 minutes before both teams start making changes. And I know we're a week away, we're 3 weeks away from our season, but I'm sure that they'll be looking to get their squad out because obviously their season starts, I think, next weekend, if I'm correct. So I'm sure they may give their players a little bit more run out than we will.
Alex Mitchell charges forward. There's a nudge in the back of the forward, and it's a free kick for Wealdstone on the outskirts of the centre circle.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wind, isn't there? It's a bit of
it's breezy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like that pitch side, but the way modern day players play now, everything's on the floor anyway.
Really interesting to see the way that Charlton are setting up with Fuller playing in that sort of left back role for Charlton Athletic, the youngster impressing, and it's brilliant, isn't it, Kevin? Obviously we want these kind of first team players to get the minutes under their belt, but it's always nice to see academy players making that breakthrough, showing that they can step up into senior football.
This is what this club's about, and I've watched him play a few times for the under-21s, and I mean, this is a big test for him because Wealdstone are a good team, and as you can see, they're quite physical. So I'm sure he'll learn a lot from this. And as I said before, Charlton's always about developing, and hopefully some of these young boys can get their chance in the championship, and that'll be a massive step up for a lot of them. So I'm sure he'll be nervous, but he'll be looking forward to it.
And for players as well, how important is it to build this match fitness up, particularly after a week away in Slovenia? We've been highlighting the importance of that week for the team, but when you come back home, I don't know, does it kind of raise a sharper focus on that first opening game against Watford a bit? Yeah,
I think for me, when you get back from those pre-season tours and whatever you want to call them, I think as soon as you get back to that training ground, I think you can see the line, and you can see the first game of the season, and all these players there will be challenging for 11 positions, so you come back as fit as you can, and you try and give your best account of yourself. There'll be people here who maybe not in the manager's plans, who'll be looking to get themselves in that squad, in and around that squad for the first game, and I'm sure these young boys will be looking to do that great run.
Macaulay Gillespie clips the ball down the left-hand side. It's a really good run from Fuller, but it's intercepted by Wealdstone. Croy Anderson hustling away like he always does, will not let up on that ball. The whistle eventually blows, but that bite and that appetite, I was mentioning in the first half, I think Croy's beefed up again over the summer. He's looking so physically strong now, really commanding in that midfield area.
Yeah, just looking at him there, he looks like he's grown a little bit as well. And look, we forget how early he came into the squad, and the development, how long it takes to develop that strength. But a lot of these players now don't take the time off, so they're in the gym and they're working out, and he looks like he's actually stretched now, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of season he has.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's probably one of the few academy graduates that sort of had, I can't even recall if he did have a loan spell out. He's a player that's really kind of bled into that first team environment and really thrived. He's receiving a bit of instruction from Nathan Jones in front of us now as Charlton have possession in their own half. Zach Mitchell playing the ball back to Ashley Maynard-Brewer. Short pass forwards to Gillespie. Connor Coventry drops to pick up the ball, charges forward about 10 yards. Charlton have possession on the halfway line. Simway back to Mitchell. Again, two young Charlton Academy graduates that went out on loan last season. A long ball forward. Keeper way out of his area. Nods it upfield.
They seem really disciplined, Wealdstone. They don't seem like they're going to jump out of their shape. Sitting quite deep, so there's no spaces in behind. That makes it really difficult.
Anderson again breaking up play, feeds it to Coventry, back to Mitchell. And you'll see as well, Kevin, some really good runs by both Alafi and Kanu, both really giving that back line a proper afternoon, evening's work.
Yeah,
It's a tricky thing when you're a striker, even if you're not active with the ball at your feet, to be as much of a nuisance as possible.
Yeah, I think patience the word, and I know both of them are on the score sheet already, so I'm sure that allows them both to be patient now and wait for their opportunity. But nothing better than scoring goals, penalty or not, and I'm sure they'll both be over the moon with getting a goal, and now it's just about getting that fitness in and that movement and that touch back in the game.
Absolutely, it doesn't really matter how, it's just getting up and off the mark, building that confidence up as well, as Wealdstone have a throw-in deep in their own half. Charlton double up and Mitchell wins the header and looks to arch the ball back into the field of play. The ball bounces off and it will be another Wealdstone throw-in, about 10 yards further up the pitch than the first one. Carey applying the press. Negotiated well by Wealdstone, who charged down this left-hand side. It's a battle for Mitchell. The kind of test, again, that these pre-season fixtures are for. Long ball forwards. And there's Alafi again, showing so much commitment to get onto the ball. And he'll drive forward for Charlton, really nicking it around the centre-back there.
You can see the manager's he's requested that we press high. It looks like the intensity is quite high for us. We're winning the ball back in their half. As you see, we've got opportunity here.
Asimwe with the run, Asimwe with the shot, decent save, and then it looks to be heading goal bound, and it is followed up by Sonny Carey. It's a third for Charlton Athletic. Build up, Kevin, from a really committed challenge, and again, sometimes you build your luck into those opportunities, and Sonny Carey on the score sheet, a first goal for him in red.
Yeah, I think when you look back at that goal, you're going to see there was about 6 or 7 bodies in the box, but it stems from pressing high, not giving the team time on the ball, and winning the ball in their half. And I think that's something we did last season anyway, and we did really well. And I'm sure the manager will be demanding that the players that are playing today, and they're only on for 60, 70 minutes, that they give their all, and they seem to have done that there.
I've watched so many of Sonny Carey's goals in a Blackpool shirt, 11 goals in 37 minutes. Don't think I saw him score too many headers, so I'll be pleased with that one. But again, for forward players to make sure that they gamble on that moment of hesitation or mistake or so on, it's really good habits to get into, and that goal has summoned a little bit of movement amongst the Charlton bench. I think we're going to see a flurry of changes as we head towards, as we mentioned, that sort of 60-minute marker, something that commentators say there's about 8 changes coming our way, Kevin. But again, for the players that are on the field so far, a 3-0 lead is a commanding one, and importantly, actually Malabra hasn't had a save to make, so from Nathan Jones' perspective, he'll be pleased about how the boys have gone about this task and this exercise.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have stepped into this game with obviously one eye on winning the game as they are at the moment, and pressing high and making runs in behind it, as we seem to have done.
Another run in behind from Ibrahim Fuller. The offside flag is up.
Just went a little bit too early there.
But we've seen several times throughout this evening, particularly when you have ball playing centre-backs like Macaulay Gillespie that can ping a ball like that with such accuracy. It's a real weapon in the arsenal for Charlton to take into the championship, as Anderson sprints to put some pressure on the goalkeeper. Beaten in the air Asimwe, and the ball bounces, and Coventry shields it effectively, plays the ball back to Alex Mitchell. Plenty of red shirts around him, and Ashley Maynard-Brewer will set Charlton up on their way again. A square pass between Gillespie and Mitchell. Out now to Zach. Connor Coventry drives forwards, back to Anderson. I've loved watching the movement and the freedom in which Anderson and Connor Coventry have been playing with. I imagine in the championship that kind of discipline will go up a degree, but it's been fascinating to see their impact today as Charlton look to try and find a way beyond the blue wall.
Yeah, I mean, Anderson in particular at the moment seems to be everywhere on the field. He was just up front just a minute ago playing as a number 9, the highest pressing, and then you see him in a left-back position, and then you see him receiving it as a centre-back. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see the two midfielders and how they interchange and how they turn up in different positions.
Nice feet from Carey. Throw in for Charlton. Charlton Athletic 3 goals to the good against National League side Wealdstone. We've offered a really good test for the Addicts, as you were saying, Kevin. Their sort of shape and discipline behind the ball. Charlton have had to be patient. They've had to employ different techniques to try and break the Stones down, as Macaulay Gillespie's long ball is gathered by the keeper. The Charlton defenders doubling up as Roy Anderson's hauled to the ground.
He looks really fit, Anderson. He looks like he's put a lot of work into pre-season. He seems to be covering every grade of grass at the moment.
It's one of the things I spoke to Nathan Jones about throughout the course of the season, and even after Wembley, as a coach, the sort of pride he takes in seeing players progress and get better. And Roy Anderson, I think you have to put in that bracket of a young player who has really, really evolved in his own sort of sense of play and identity within this team. And he just looks like he could carry on until midnight playing and marshalling things in midfield.
It was fair play to him because he was in and out the team last year, but every time he came on or he played, he looked like he was ready to play, he looked fit enough and didn't look disappointed to be on the bench. Every time he came on, he gave 100%, and I think he's going to be a really important player for the team this season.
He added some real maturity when he came on in Wembley, as Charlton meticulously managed that game, that final, that incredible afternoon that's still fresh in the mind. But of course, there comes a point we have to draw a line under that. Focus on the challenges ahead. No, I don't think so. I don't think so, yeah. I still look back at the photos and the videos and what I know it's a slightly difficult day for you, Kev, but now the opportunity to just look forward and see Charlton back in the Championship. And it's a phrase that I don't normally like, but I'm going to say it. Where we
100%, I totally agree with him.
Well, look, there's some defending to do. Let's not get too carried away. As the ball is squared, it should be cleared by Carey. Maybe that's a sign that we shouldn't get too carried away. The shot comes and it ricochets off of the right boot. And there's a call for a penalty. The fans behind that goal are sure that the ball ricocheted off of Nathan Asimwe's hand. We've seen 2 penalties awarded so far this evening. Not on that occasion, but that's about as close as Wealdstone have come to scoring this evening. And this is the site that every single commentator dreads. Wholesale changes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 9 of them, and I'm going to try and do my best.
And I'm going to leave you to do
thanks, Kev. I'm going to try and do my best here to marry them all up for you. Of course, the first one is skipper Greg Doherty coming on for Tanto Olofe's first goal in a Charlton shirt. Sonny Carey also making way. Macaulay Gillespie will be handing over the armband to Greg Doherty and making his way off the pitch in place of Lloyd Jones. Connor Coventry making way for Rob Apter. Roy Anderson for Mari Bell. Nathan Sinway. Zach Mitchell coming off. Miles Lieber. Michael Babette. Tyrese Campbell. Yeah, all of them. And the final change as well, coming on to the field of play, is Joe Rankin Costello, another new sign-in. Basically, the outfield has completely changed for Charlton Athletic, and this is an opportunity for both Kevin and I to see some new faces in the team as well. Really excited to see. I've heard and read so many good things about Joe Rankin Costello. Spent 11 years at Blackburn Rovers, and a really shrewd piece of recruitment because he's a player who's played over 100 times in the Championship, who has banked that Championship experience. How important is that to have in the squad?
It shows real intent in what Gaffer's trying to do, to get someone of his caliber and some of his experience in our squad, because we are lacking a little bit of experience in the Championship, and to get him here is a big deal, and I think he's going to be a massive player for us. I think there's going to be times where we're going to need his experience. I'm looking forward to watching him play, but I've seen a couple of our signings and I was quite excited about 4 or 5 of our signings as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they gel and how they develop in the Charlton.
We do have a trialist in and amongst those changes as well. I will refer to him as trialist A. Trialist A play back to Lloyd Jones. Right-footed, lost the ball up high. It's a nice looking ball for Fuller to get back on the end of, and he clatters into the back of the Stones skipper. Will be a free kick for our hosts. And seeing as I'm alongside the centre forward, let's just reflect on the news as well. Besides all the new business that's been done, contract extensions for the two front men we see on the pitch now, Miles Lieberman and Mika Beck. Brilliant, brilliant news.
Yeah, I'm sure Miles will be itching to get the signing of contract.
Oh, that's a good header. This was over the crossbar.
Miles obviously being out of contract, and the fact that he wants to be here and he wants to be part of the process and the part of this season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. And exciting times to get all these players we've signed, and also signed the young ones and our talented ones as well. So yeah, we're going to have a massive squad, and we're going to have some. I think a few players are going to have to be quite patient this season, but it's a long season, and I'm sure
Wealdstone making a number of changes now. And a little shaky moment for the Addicts there, but also slightly to be expected when you make wholesale changes. These players just finding their feet in the match, which Charlton Athletic currently lead 3-0.
Yeah, I don't think it's as exciting as it seems to be coming on a sub. I think sometimes it takes 20 to 15 minutes to get warmed up, and by then you could have conceded a goal or make a mistake, but need to get those energies and time into their legs, as it's just pre-season.
Amari Bell on the ball for the Addicts, a left-sided defensive option, and that's a beautiful ball forwards to Tyrese Campbell, the two Jamaican internationals linking up. A nice cross, a testing cross, but that 6-yard box is marshalled. Skipper Greg Doherty applying pressure, backed up by Bell, who gets a boot to it. The player falls down, but play continues. Campbell in the box, and here's Doherty. He makes a good connection, but the effort just wide. But again, even that opportunity there, Kevin, underlines the principles of how Nathan Jones likes his team to be aggressive, to see Amari Bell out of his position like that, so high up the pitch, charging up the aggression, to then lead to that opportunity to take the shot.
I think when we say out of position now, I don't think anyone's really got a position now. I think, especially when you've got the ball, I think you're just trying to find spaces and you're covering each other. So yeah, it's not like my day. We played 4-4-2 and you stayed in your position. It's nice to see players that can play in different positions and be comfortable in those positions as well. See Miles closing down there.
Brilliant work from Miles Lieberman. Mabek, as the player just smothers the ball and wins the free kick. I thought that decision.
Not sure about that. Oh.
Brilliant work from Lloyd Jones, a really neat touch as well. Left to it as the forward ball gets played into Miles Lieberman. Just misses the opportunity to take control of the football there, Kev.
Yeah, that's jelly legs. That's trying to find his feet. I think this is what these games are for, those opportunities, trying to find your feet and trying to get your touch right. And I'm sure in a couple of weeks' time he'll get hold of that and he'll score.
And here's Rob Apter's first couple of touches on the ball. Another exciting signing. Making plenty of ground up for the Addicts. I saw some clips of his hat-trick for Blackpool last season. He won Goal of the Month as well in September with a stunning solo run that he made in, and a really, really nice finish. I think he's going to be a player that Charlton Athletic supporters will love, turning up to the Valley and travelling on the road to see play. Here's Amari Bell, plays the ball back to Ashley Maynard-Brewer.
I think Amari Bell's a great signing as well. I've watched him play for Luton a few times, and I think he's going to be a really good signing for us. A lot of experience as well.
Yeah, that experience is going to prove so vital as Charlton begin to acclimatise to life in the Championship. We're speaking to Managing Director Jim Rodwell about the step up. I mean, there's a reason why it's covered all over Wembley Stadium at the playoff finals, about stepping up a level. And it's exciting. It's not daunting. No. It's a challenge to be absolutely relished.
Of course it is. I mean, this is why they were in the league. There we go. Oh, well
composed defending there from Bell. And eventually wins the free kick. I mean, it's one thing as a defender to have the positioning of your game and the intelligence to read play, but also when you're under pressure like that, to be able to keep calm and keep control of the football is absolutely imperative.
He won't be fazed by that. He's played in high divisions and real good player with real good talent. So I think that's what the manager wants. He wants players in the back, especially that are comfortable on the ball and not scared of losing it. But as you say, being comfortable in uncomfortable positions.
Lloyd Jones in the centre of Charlton's defence. He was at the heart of it for most of last season when Charlton broke a club record, keeping 26 clean sheets and kept, let's not forget, 3 clean sheets throughout the playoff campaign as well, which I don't think had been done for a number of years. Was really, really incredible. And Nathan Jones was always keen to point out how much of a collective effort that was, and I think even just this evening we're seeing the continuation of those principles across the team. And Charlton are going to have to do a little bit of defending now as Wealdstone have a throw in. Advanced in their own half, about 15 yards or so from the halfway line. Will be dealt with by Jones, who has enough time to try and take the touch. He allows it to bounce square out to trialist A. Amari Bell just scanning, assessing his options, plays it back to Jones, a player who committed his future to the football club back in January, went on
as he should
and went on to win Player of the Year and also in the EFL's Team of the Year as well. It was a wonderful season, and I'm imagining he's a player as well that is really looking forward to the opportunity of going toe-to-toe with the plethora of talented centre forwards and attackers. I mean, the Championship is just full of trickery and
I'm sure that's what he would have wanted. He was awesome to the back end of the season as well at Wembley. I thought he was our best player as well, and well deserved to be in the team of the season. And I'm sure, as you say, he'll be looking forward to the challenges that are coming ahead in the Championship.
Here's Fuller now for Charlton, drifts inside, links up with Anderson, now out to Greg Doherty, who captained Charlton to the Championship in his first season as a player, just has the ball pinched away from him. Miles Lieben with the effective press, followed up by Doherty. And now Charlton have the ball. Fuller. If Charlton could just maybe switch it up. I'm just looking at Rob Apter over on that far right-hand side with Akers. But at the moment it's quite congested down this left-hand side as Doherty nods the ball towards the path of Campbell, who will give chase. Needs to be careful not to nudge too much in the back, be physical but not too blatant with it, and that's the physicality we love to see from Miles Lieben. Oh, just getting tangled up there. And just a little bit of a reaction there.
Real intent by Miles there to close down.
The aggression again is part of the DNA that you know you've got to set the standards there in your pre-season.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll be looking to be in that starting lineup for the first game of the season. And you know, pre-season games are to get fit, but also to show the manager that you're ready to play in the Championship. And I think just looking at him in the last 10 minutes, he looks like he's fired up and he's ready for this game.
Ready and raring to go. It's brilliant to see Miles Lieben back in action after his season was curtailed early on due to injury. And this is, of course, his first season with a Nathan Jones pre-season under his belt. So, again, brilliant to set him loose on the Championship once that starts. And there's a collision between the two Charlton defenders, but covered. And that's the kind of thing Rankin Costello is used to sometimes. If things aren't going quite the way, if a mistake has happened, just mopping up for the Addicts, who have a corner to defend now.
Yeah, I think it's always about reacting from mistakes and not letting the game go on and not getting back into your shape. And I think we did that really well, even though there was a slight mishap with the two defenders.
The Addicts set up to defend this header. It's a really strong header away by Miles Lieben, an important player in both boxes for Charlton Athletic.
But we'll about 6-7.
Well, there we go again. Just absolutely that wall in red. And I think he's still growing, Kevin.
Yeah, I know, every time I see him. I'm wondering if I'm shrinking or if he's getting bigger.
And Lieben's going to have to track back here just to see out the ball and prevent Wealdstone here from getting any sort of consolation, because we know that we love clean sheets here at Charlton, and that will definitely be a metric from this evening. It's all looking a little bit messy and scrappy for Charlton, and Greg Doherty will look to try and clean that up a little bit. It's a good run towards the byline, and the ball ricochets for a goal kick. But that's about as sort of messy as we've looked all evening, really, from a defensive point of view, Kevin.
It was a 15-second spell of messiness. That's all it was. So get back to how we've been playing. As I said before, when you come on as sub, it's really difficult to find your feet straight away, and you don't want to make mistakes. So I'm sure the lads will get back onto it now.
And that freshness that Wealdstone have on their own bench, again, is part of the point of coming to grounds like this and taking on National League opposition to give you a test. We've seen down one end it be really physical, in other ends the sort of pace and trickery of both. There's plenty of place in this Wealdstone team, that's for sure, and they're going to make a few more changes now.
Big team, ain't they?
They are a huge team. That's what myself and some of the players were saying when we arrived and we saw them sort of all warming up. Absolutely huge. But you and I both follow the National League, of course, and we know that that more often or not is a bit of a trait. Teams are very big, they're very strong. That athleticism tends to come. That athleticism and pace kind of comes up further up the pyramid.
I mean, once you play in the National League, the first thing you've got to get your head around is the fact that it's a physical league, and you're sort of waiting for the 60th minutes for players to sort of tire out before you can then go and express yourself. So, as you say, it's a great test for the boys, because I know they're in National League, but they're a physical side, so you've got to move the ball quickly as well.
Bell has possession for Charlton in the Addicts box. Squares it to Lloyd Jones, who's centre of the back three that Charlton are setting up with. And we can see Charlton's centre forwards making those positive runs. It's just got to be that sync with a run like that, with a pass like that. And here is Fuller, and that's an important intervention from the Wealdstone substitute.
You can see the manager's keen on getting forward runs once the centre-backs have got the ball. And at one point there we had three options, three people trying to make a run in behind, which is really good. Stretches the defence and allows the midfield to have some time in there.
Rankin Costello lifts his right arm aloft to indicate to his teammates the routine that he's preparing for. Let's see what work's been done at Sparrows Lane as this Charlton corner is taken. The right-footed in swinging delivery. Embick was loitering there as well. And Charlton will look to win back possession. It's another scuffle and coming together. Decision goes the way of Charlton this time. Here's Rankin Costello. It's interesting, isn't it, for players when we talk about clubs recruitment, for them to settle in as well. When you spent 11 years at a football club, to make a move is a really, really big thing. But he, like many of the other new signings, from what I'm hearing and seeing, has really settled into life well at the football club. We do it well in terms of that embedding new blood in.
I think it's not a bad place to be, London as well, though. I know was in Blackpool as well, so I know it's lovely in Blackpool, but there's no place like London. And
as a South East Londoner, I completely agree with you. But you're right on a more serious note, and it was something I was thinking about when speaking to Jim, and we spoke about the connection with the fans and how incredible the Valley looked and packing out Wembley. If you're a professional footballer and you're assessing your options of which club to join in the Championship and so on, Charlton must tick a lot of boxes.
If you watch our last playoff game against Wickham, and if you're a footballing person and you see the fans there and 20-odd thousand and the players, the fans running on the pitch, I'm sure that's something you want to be a part of. And as I say, no disrespect to obviously the club he's come from, but I still believe Charlton are a Championship side, and if they do it right, they could be a Premiership side within a couple of years. So I'm sure he wants to be a part of that process. And
what a brilliant ball forwards by Lloyd Jones to Apter, who looks to cross and feed Embick. And Leeburn was making a dashing run into the danger zone as well. What a ball from Lloyd Jones. Again, I'm just going to reiterate, we saw it in the first half as well. When you have centre-backs that can pick out a pass like that, it is such a weapon to have. And it means that Charlton can play direct. And I suppose that's, again, another adaptation that's going to have to be made in the Championship, to go direct when the time and the moment is right, and to have the skill to be able to do that and make the sort of minutes matter.
Yeah, I think with the strikers that we have, you can miss out the midfield at times because you know they're all big and strong and physical, and they will win their fair share of battles. So it allows you to go forward a lot quicker, and then obviously if the midfield know what's going on, they can sort of back up the strikers and they can get the bits and pieces, which we did really well last season. I'm sure it's something that the manager will continue to do, and he won't change that.
Rob Apter is fouled over on that right-hand side. He is, if I'm not mistaken, the latest player through the door. The most recent bit of business, but as we heard from manager Jim Rodwell, the ambition is to still get a few more bodies in the door. I mean, when you have to think of the work that's had to be done in such a short space of time, but I know that's a particularly eye-catching sign-in. Many look at a young talent like him. He won the League Two Young Player of the Year award at the EFL Awards a couple of seasons ago and continued to go from strength to strength for Blackpool. Links up, of course, with his former teammate Sonny Carey.
It'll be interesting if we bring any more in, if we have to almost get rid of you, because you're looking at it's a big squad.
The delivery comes in, and there's a glancing header as well, and it has to be cleared by Wealdstone. And that, again, is the sort of link-up play when you have a technician like Apter linking up with tall, big front men.
Yeah, we were always going to be a threat. We was last season, and despite what happens in general play, when we get our set pieces, I think we'll always be a threat if we're willing to attack the ball.
8 goals and 8 assists, Rob Apter, and we saw there the kind of service that he can provide. Played a few minutes in the second half in Slovenia. Scored a wonderful hat-trick against Stevenage as well. Well worth checking out as another testing delivery comes in. The ball hooked up high, will be nodded back towards the danger zone by Fuller. Mbic out to Bell, and here's Apter again with the bright neon yellow boots. Good ball in. Lloyd Jones looking to scan and get the header in. And Wealdstone, I think, have actually got a defender that marries up to Miles Leeburn's height. Their number 6 is absolutely huge.
That's probably why he's following him around. There's a real intent to win the ball back by Charlton, though, and even when the subs have come on, nothing's changed in terms of winning the ball back and playing the ball forward. So the manager's obviously got his thoughts across, and the players obviously understand what he wants from them, because the players that have come on seem to be doing the exact same things the other players are doing.
It's a real sort of blueprint of our success, particularly at home, wasn't it? The high amount of turnover we were able to win high up the pitch. Some defending to do now, though, as Wealdstone had the ball over on the far left-hand side. Plenty of red shirts back, guarding the Charlton Athletic box. One of the things Charlton, of course, did so successfully last season was keep clean sheets. The season beforehand, the number of goals tallied up from conceding late on was frankly so costly. It dragged Charlton into a relegation battle up until a point, but of course now some better habits in place. But now this is again a kind of productive scenario to be in, Kevin, to have a set piece to defend in a very tricky area.
I'm sure the defenders will be looking forward to it. They've been quiet for the last 25 minutes, so it's always good to get your positional play right and your timing of your headers. So I'm sure this is a real good opportunity for our centre-backs to get back into, as you say, good habits.
And as you can see, Lloyd Jones marshalling the troops around him, checking over his left shoulder, checking over his right, signalling, making sure everyone's in the right position, actually pointing out to Rob Apter, the man on the outskirts of the area, making sure every base is covered as Charlton Athletic defend this free kick. The ball lofted towards that back post, and it is far too easy a header to be made.
Yeah, I'm sure Nathan won't be happy about that first contact, and I'm sure he likes his defenders to always get the first contact, but as I said before, it's pre-season and getting used to those positions back again. So,
and it leads to another corner. A little spell of pressure from the Stones as the ball's laid back, cut out by Doherty.
there you go.
And that's an important touch, an intervention, and the counter-attack is on, and that was a very audacious effort. And perhaps again, when players get the moment to watch this back on tape tomorrow, it'll be pointed out. You might be able to do that at under 23s, but in sort of this match play there was perhaps a few more options there, but this is all a learning curve. Each and every 90 minutes of pre-season is a working exercise.
I'm sure they're pointing it out to him now. I'm not going to wait to...
Yeah, they might not have to wait till tomorrow. I'm sure that might be pointed out. You're very correct.
Pass the ball. And that's what you, as a young boy, you want to be around senior players. You want to hear this information. You want to be criticised. You want to learn. You want to get better.
Fuller is still advanced for Charlton, has that hunger and desire, links up sweetly with Bell, who's holding it up towards that corner flag and has done really well to navigate his body and open it up. Nice little battle in that corner flag. Unfortunately comes to little. It's a throw-in for Wealdstone. And we are going to see a change in goal for the Addicts.
I forgot we had a keeper.
Ashley Maynard-Brewer hasn't had much to do this evening. Perhaps some tougher tests to come, and Tommy Reid coming on in place of him. By the way, can we just talk about how amazing these kits look? The goalkeeping kit, actually very similar to the Wealdstone kit, but a really nice green design, and similarly the home kit's looking very smart as well.
Yeah, I was waiting for my free kit. It's not going in the post.
Might be waiting a while.
It's not in the post. They said it was in the post, but
dear Reebok.
They are. Listen, they're lovely kits, aren't they? And,
yeah. Again, it all builds up to the excitement, not only for supporters but for players alike. It's really nice to see these things marry up, as Rob Apter is looking to be a nuisance in his 1v1 battle. Maybe a little bit too much there. It's an obvious free kick for Wealdstone, but I don't mind that bite in our team. I don't mind that appetite and that hunger.
It's a bit of pride as well, isn't it? Like, you don't want someone running past you easy, so yeah, I'm nothing wrong with that, I don't think.
Relentless is a word that we used a lot.
Yep. Nice play.
Last season, it's what we want to see again, and relentless is what Tyrese Campbell is being now.
Look at that.
And then he's backed up by his captain.
Even the manager's doing a bit there. He's messed up his work trainers.
Obviously, there's a few people missing in the Charlton Athletics squad. We've yet to see Matty Godden and Luke Berry play in pre-season. I think there's a few niggles amongst the group, and Kane Ramsey not featuring this evening. But that again is going to be natural, isn't it, Kevin? Yeah. It's been a very, very short pre-season, but I mean, goodness me, I can barely run up the stairs, let alone run into the pre-season running. But again, already without those key men, a strong squad and sample size to look at this evening.
Well, when you look at it, we've got two teams. We've put out two teams here and of quality. So I think, as you say, it shows the size of our squad, which is what I said earlier. I thought it would be interesting to see if all these players will be here at the beginning of the season, but there's definitely real quality within this squad now, and there's going to be competition for places, and I'm sure that's what the manager wants, and it's quality competition as well. Quality competition
is really, really key there. That definitely feels like the position Charlton are getting themselves in. Of course, with 3 weeks to go until the season starts, this is a lively looking run from Apter into the box. He goes with the cross, blocked off by the Wealdstone player, and it's a corner for Charlton Athletic. He looks quite electric. I don't want to kind of sound too much here, but he looks like a player that can cause a little bit of electricity, doesn't he?
When you look at him, you see his first thought is always to take someone on, and especially as a striker, that's quite important. And once he starts building relationship with players, I'm sure it will benefit him and the team. But I like wingers to always have a thought of taking someone on and then passing it after, and he looks like he's that sort of player.
Yeah, he's got a few caps under his belt for Scotland's under-21 side as well. International experience. We've got a bit of international pedigree in our ranks now, with the likes of Amari Bell and of Tyrese Campbell as well. I wanted to mention in the commentary, congratulations to him for getting his first senior caps for Jamaica. He mentioned that it was a real aim of his to try and do that, and his hard work in a Charlton shirt enabled that.
For the club as well, and you're bringing these young boys that come through now playing for their countries. I know it didn't mean nothing when I played for Jamaica, but it does now.
It does. It absolutely did, and it does. And to get a first call up for your country is absolutely incredible. And when it's one of your own, a young boy that's been at the football club since he was 9 years old, in contract until 2026. I wonder if he's one that, really looking for a contract extension there. But what a prospect, and a player, again, keep repeating the point, but will really be looking forward to the opportunity to push himself another level in the championship.
There's real competition within that Jamaica squad now, as you say, to get yourself a debut in with all that competition. As you say, it's fair play to him and the club.
Apter looking to press, does so effectively. It's a throw-in for Wealdstone. It earns a round of applause from his manager, and that's the kind of thing as well that is important. It's the willingness to run off the ball. It's the willingness sometimes to do the scruffier parts of the games, the bits that get unnoticed but can lead to a reward. Let's see if Charlton can perhaps add to their tally between now and the full-time whistle. We will of course be speaking to manager Nathan Jones post-match. Might try and grab a chat with a player as well, and you can catch all of that on the club's website, on our social media channels as well. There's lots going on. I mentioned that there's a player appearance going on at Blue Water Shopping Centre tomorrow. I believe you have to sign up in advance to do that, but it's just such an exciting time for the football club. You really want to relish every moment before the business starts. And if you haven't purchased your season ticket yet, if you haven't got your ticket for our opening game against Watford, what are you waiting for? Do it now. Go and get your phone out, type in the club website, purchase it now, get behind the boys, because they really, really do deserve it. And there was something special brewing, and it doesn't stop just with promotion.
We've been waiting years to be in the Championship, isn't it? So I'm sure all the Charlton fans want to be a part of it, and get yourself one of these kits as well, and send you my address, you can buy me one as well.
Right, let's plug it as much as we can. Hashtag ad, hashtag ad. Reebok, please send us some nice kit. I've seen the training kit as well, and the yeah, it looks really, really smart. The warm-up tops, actually, I'll have to send you a photo of them. They look lovely. Anyway, let's focus back on the action now, because the boys are looking smart in red and they're playing some smart football as well. Say that, and then the ball's given away. Miles Leeburn's going to track back and try and win possession for his team. Great work. Should be a throw-in for Charlton. It's not. It goes the way of the Stones.
Real intensity to closing down. They're not just closing down, they're closing down with an intent to win the ball back, to then go and attack.
With real purpose and structure comes that aggression, and it's being fine-tuned this evening.
I think the manager can sense and see what players are closing down with an intent and who's just getting to the ball, and I think the players seem to be reacting to what the manager wants.
Charlton look to advance up the pitch. Bell plays it back to Jones. Bell can see the run of Fuller and Campbell. Campbell leaves it for Fuller, who looks to cut back, just misplaces his foot and has touched the ball as well, unfortunately. And again, Kevin, you made the point in commentary earlier on, it's as much for individuals to take things away from games, but the sort of the link up and understanding of where your teammate's going to be, that was slightly unfortunate there, the sort of overlap between the pair.
And I mean, these are the main reasons for these games. You can do whatever you want in pre-season, but if you don't understand the person you're playing with and position and formation, then you're always going to be in problems. So I think the manager will be keen to the players to get game time with each other and understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's really important. Yeah,
Apter's turn there, and a shirt pull means that Wealdstone have a free kick, and I imagine, again, given the height they have in their squad, they're going to get the big men up front. Oh, they've taken it quickly.
Oh no, he's going. He's
coming back. He's retreating.
Run, to be fair, and he has to get back after. So don't blame him.
Instead, they're going to let the captain cross the ball in, and it's a poor cross. Nothing to concern Tommy Reid in the Charlton goal.
I'm sure he'll be looking for a shot or two to impress, show the manager what he can do. But at the moment, they're a bit quiet in his goal. But I'm sure the back four will be happy about that.
Thomas Kaminsky not with the squad this evening, played his first 45 minutes in Slovenia. The Belgian international, 32 years old, started every one of Luton's games in the Premier League.
That's a massive
Absolutely huge. A really, really big positive signing. Again, adding further competition amongst the ranks of the goalkeepers that Charlton have at their disposal. Campbell has his shirt pulled, but still manages to find Doherty. Again, Wealdstone been a really good test again in terms of their own work rate and endeavour, not making it easy for Charlton, and Charlton wouldn't want that.
Fit team.
Very fit team.
When they're on the ball, they like to play. They're getting out of our press a few times, which is quite impressive. No pun intended. But yeah, they seem decent on the ball when they've got time, and although we're pressing at times, and they seem to really keen to keep the ball. And as you can say, they're a good little play here as well. 6 or 7 passes, and we've won it back. So
And there goes the full-time whistle. Another productive exercise in pre-season results in a third win out of 3 for Charlton Athletic. A clean sheet as well against Wealdstone. 2 penalties in the first half, followed up by a goal in the second. A really productive 90 minutes out there, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm sure Nathan will be over the moon with that. A 3-0 clean sheet. And more importantly, I'm sure he would have set targets, and by the looks of that, the players would have hit the target, and I'm sure he'll be looking forward to the next game. No injuries as well, which is always vital in these sort of games, so really good day.
It's a bit unfair to perhaps ask you this question to pick out any individuals who impressed, because you know it's such a different context of a game, but is there anyone you're excited to see how their sort of journey evolves this season?
I wouldn't pick anyone out today, but there are obviously 4 or 5 players I would love to see this season, and interesting to see how people bed in the squad. I'm interested to see how Miles does in the Championship Cup. I really do think he's a Championship player. Campbell as well. It'll be interesting to see those two work. They obviously had a good season in League One, but to see them in the Championship and see if they can cut it will be really interesting, because they're our boys, they're our youth team boys.
3 goals and a clean sheet, 2 really important metrics,
yeah.
But just from my sense of watching the game as well, I think the boys would have clocked up a good amount of running, lots of high turnovers, those other statistics we know that Nathan and his staff will analyse and are part of the formula, and have been part of the formula for our success last season, and will be again in the Championship. Yeah,
I think the manager touched on it as well. Like, it's really difficult to give defenders credit for clean sheets, because as a team we defend really well, always defend from the front. Our midfielders do their defensive works as well, so I think going up a division, that's going to be really important to have a real defensive good structure in front of us, and then when we do go attack, we go long and we go quickly, and we get support to the front players as well. So yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be more of the same. I just feel like we need a little bit more quality when we're in those final thirds in the Championship, because the teams in the Championship have a lot of quality in the top end of the field, so I think we can't always rely on clean sheets and good defensive displays. I think we're going to have to score a lot of goals as well to have a good season. It's
so exciting, and this has been another really useful exercise for Nathan Jones and his coaching staff, the players of course as well. Let's take a look back at the highlights from our 3-0 victory here at Wealdstone. Towards the back post, recycle play from Edwards. Here's Sonny Carey. That's a strong glove to deny Carey. Opportunity. Receives a ripple of applause from the Charlton Athletic fans. Those stood by the bases covered as Charlton Athletic defend this free kick. The ball lofted towards that back post. It is far too easy a penalty to be made. Back breaking up lane, here's Corey Anderson. Back breaking up lane, here's Corey Anderson doing just that. Squares it out to Simway, an overlapping run from Mitchell. Mitchell with the delivery. It's back to goal, and he wiggles and looks to get the shot away. Blocked by the Stones captain. Mitchell has a second chance to get across, and instead elects to play it out to a Simway. The Simway's ball aiming for the head of Daniel Kanu towards the back post. Recycle play from Edwards. Here's Sonny Carey. That's a ball went out of play. The officials didn't see it quite like that. That's a brilliant ball forward to Trish Edwards. Is going to try and shoot. It's going to be splattered by the goalkeeper, and that's a penalty for the Addicts. Great deadlock for the Addicts. Right-footed Edwards straight down the middle. Calm, cynical. It's the first goal for Charlton Athletic. Turn up the pressure. with no kind of test. Again, that these pre-season fixtures are for. Long ball forwards. There's a Laffy again, showing so much commitment to get onto the ball. And they'll drive forward for Charlton, really nicking it around the centre back there.
You can see the managers who've requested that we press high. It looks like the intensity is quite high for us. Back in there,
Sinway with the run, Sinway with the shot, it's a decent save, and then it looks to be heading goal bound, and it is followed up by Sunny Perry. It's the first fourth, and it's a phrase that I don't normally like, but I'm going to say it. Oh look, there's some defending to do. Let's not get too carried away. As the ball is squared, it should be cleared by Perry. Maybe that's a side. Maybe we shouldn't get too carried away.